Welcome back to Everyman Prepping. And yes, the grid is down. The grid is down for a county in North Carolina, Moore County, about 100,000 people. Almost everybody is without power, 30-some thousand customers. And so we're going to talk a little about that, get some update on what's going on there, look at some maps where these stations are, talk about what might have happened, and as a prepper, what this means to you and what you need to get ready for. Especially this wasn't a big city. This was just a rural county, 100,000 people. So something like this can happen anywhere and you need to be ready for it. So please like the video after you've watched it. Subscribe if you haven't done so. Everybody ring that bell. Share this with other people. Let them know what's going on. And comment below. Do you live in the area? Have friends or family? What are they hearing? Give us any up-to-date on-the-ground information that you might have. First, let's go here. We have a little article from the pilot. So here we have a gate from the West End station that was taken down. As you can see, not much security at all. I'll show you both these on the map. You can see they're very unsecure. They're very soft targets. And this is the way all substations, across the country basically are. Very few are hardened. There's talk that you take down the right 9 or 10 substations, the whole country goes down. I have no idea about that, but they took down 2 here and the whole county went dark. So going on down, there's just a couple things I want to point out in this article, a couple key things I found important. And this was, so let me quote here, working on the Eastwood Power substation, Aubin Reynolds, a system planning engineer with the Randolph Electric Membership Corporation, he said that whoever attacked the power stations was familiar with the power company and how the stations were all connected to each other. They said 2 substations I've found for sure were attacked, and I'll show you those, and maybe a third. Haven't found much on the third. This is the Eastwood one. You can see chain link fence. That's not stopping anybody. You could shoot right through it. They were attacked by gunfire, took out the transformers. As you can see here, Reynolds also said that the West End Power Station, which was heavily damaged, is a transmission substation, which sends power down the line to smaller substations like the East one. Hitting that site hard would have had a cascading effect, which it did, and that was the hardest hit site. Really quickly, if you don't know, but poweroutage.us tracks power outages. It's great for, national. It goes all across the whole country. I've clicked on North Carolina. You can see more counties in red here. They tell you how many people are out. You can hover over it. 35,000 customers, 100,000 people. But it's great for natural disasters, hurricanes, tornadoes, snowstorms, wherever you live. If you want to find out what power is going on, it's a great site. Local site showing you from Duke Energy, all the people that are out of power. Got here from the airport. All over. Power's still out. Probably said till Thursday because they got to get new equipment. You're not just repairing parts in these transformers. They probably have to get brand new ones. Not easy to get, thus at least Thursday. Looking on the map here. Here is Moore County. One thing I want to point out, not a lot of people are talking about, is that it is really close to Fort Bragg right here. This is Fort Bragg, where we have 82nd Airborne, Special Forces. Was this an attack trying to see if we could shut down Fort Bragg? Possibility, I don't know. Just throwing that out there. It is very close, though, to there. If you want to zoom out really quickly here, you can see here's the county. Here's North Carolina. The big cities, Charlotte, Greensboro, Raleigh. Nothing really. It's in the middle of the state. Why are we going there? We're going to talk about that in a minute. One other thing really quickly here. So these 2 red balloons here are the substations that were hit that I could find. They're only 6 miles apart. Could have been a single person going between the 2. This dotted line here I drew actually follows the easement where the power lines run. They connect them. This is the west one where they said a heavily damaged will affect ones down the line. That's probably what happened. There's talk that there's also one around Carthage that might have been hit, but I can't find anything about it. But 6 miles, you could drive that easily in 15, 20 minutes. Could be a lone man, lone wolf, whatever, lone person. But I haven't found anything on the timing. Nothing. So they're not putting that out. If they happened at the same time, then we're talking about 2 more people. Obviously, domestic terrorism. Let's zoom in. You can see the sites really quick. Let's zoom in and see if we can. Let me go back here and get this zoomed back out though, so we can do this properly here. Okay, let's show you really quick where they are so that you can get an idea of how unprotected they are. So this is the first one. Let me just do really quickly. They got some solar here set up, but it's right here. Right off the road. You can take this little dirt road, get to it, hidden, chain link fence around it, easy to hit, right? Very simple. And then we come up here further, we follow, the power lines, and we keep coming up, and we see that we get to right here. And here's the next one. This one I'm going to go in with the street views to show you. This is right off the road. Easy to get to. That's the second one that was hit. You know, you don't have to be, paramilitary to attack this. And here you go. Just like you saw in the picture. Chain link fence, dirt road on the side, right off this other road. You know, there's a house here. Probably talk to them about what they heard. But you know what you're doing? Shoot the right place. This thing goes down. It's a very soft target. So this can happen anywhere. This can, affect all of us. So we need to get ready. So let's go through some theories real quick. I know a lot of people putting out, the media's putting out the drag theory, the drag show that was going on in this county. Right-wingers, the white nationalists, they wanted to stop it, so they cut the power to the county. I'm going to say there's about a 1% chance of that happening, or no percent. You could have gone to the theater, gone to where the power comes in, and taken the power out in the back. It only affects the theater. They're blaming on like I said, the Christian right. They're not taking out power substations. And like the guy said, you have to have knowledge of the substations, know what you're doing. Not happening. What does that make me think? That makes me think that it could be a disgruntled subcontractor working for the power company, wanted to pay him back, take it down, damage a lot, cause a lot of damage. Disgruntled worker is pretty high on my list. Next, you can go to, like I said, it's next to Fort Bragg. So were they trying to, whoever this was, sleeper cell, terrorist group, someone with a grudge against the United States, wanted to get into Fort Bragg, see if they could take the power down at the base. I don't know how the power works, if it's connected, does it have its own substation, who knows. But could have been a probing attack like that. That's a possibility. You've had some other YouTube channels go as far as saying it's state-sponsored, foreign state-sponsored, because what we're doing, helping the war out against Russia and all that. That's pretty minimal also, I think. It could be that, but I can't see that happen. An attack like this happened back in, I think, 2013 or 14 in Santa Clara, California. Another substation was hit. They took out 17 transformers, took down a county over 1 million people. That person was never caught. We never heard anything about it. Maybe they caught him, they didn't say anything. And it was disappeared. The story was disappeared. They hardened that facility a little bit, I heard, but that's all they did. And so if we don't hear anybody getting caught for this one, maybe was a little more sinister. I don't know. Could this be a couple local yokels, good old boys, got a little liquored up, went out there, had their guns, wanted to see, hey, what happens if we shoot this thing? What can we do? I don't know. Maybe at one. Why would you hit two? So I don't know about that because they hit two of them 6 miles apart. So don't know if that was it or not. So we'll wait and see who gets caught, if anybody gets caught, and go from there. But what I want to talk most importantly about is what this means for you. Obviously, it can happen anywhere. Small county, 100,000 people. It can happen where you're at. So be ready for it. Especially if you have medical equipment, CPAP, oxygen, generator, some other vital equipment that is keeping you alive that you need to be, have electricity for. You need to have backup power. Solar generator with solar panels, especially at night because you don't want to run a noisy generator. But you can have a gas generator to charge a solar generator, charge a battery bank at least, so you can use it at night. So you need a solar generator with solar or a way to recharge it. You need a gas generator with plenty of gas to run it for 3, 4, 5 days or longer, or a way to resupply it. You need those two items. Acquire them now, and not only just for medical issues. You got your food, your freezer, your refrigerator, your deep freezer, all that stuff that's running. Like I did a video 2 days ago about canning meat. It's great to store it because if the freezer goes down, your food's good. If your freezer's full and you don't have backup power or your backup power is dead, hope you have that pressure canner and jars and lids and bands because you're going to need to can all that food. Don't throw a giant barbecue from the neighborhood and just go through the food because you don't want it to go to waste. Have a way to store it yourself. You have your backup power to keep it going as long as you can. If that fails, have that pressure canner and the means to can all the food in there so it doesn't go to waste. Just plan that, put it on your list now. And then, as a side note, when you're running your freezers, refrigerators off your backup power, you don't need to run it 24/7. You can do it 2 or 3, you can run your refrigerator, freezer an hour, hour and a half, and then leave it off power for a couple hours and then turn it on again. That'll help save gas, save your solar power, your batteries, save all that. And don't open the door a lot, open it really quickly. If you have a freezer and you don't need the food out there because you have other food, because you've packed your prepper pantry, leave it closed. that stuff will last 3-4 days, and you give it a couple hours every day and you'll still be frozen. So, ration your power basically is what I'm saying. If you have any other hints below, post them down below. If you have medical devices, what do you use? What are you using for your backup power? One thing when you're doing this, get the wattage. You can buy a little watt meter that tells you how much watts your medical devices use, your refrigerator, your freezer, your microwave, your coffee pot if you really need your coffee, whatever you have, add up all the watts and make sure your backup supply can power all that equipment. Make sure the generator puts out enough watts to cover all that stuff. Make sure your solar power battery bank puts out enough. And you don't have to run everything at once. You don't have to add it all up and get the total. You can rotate. You can do refrigerator 1, then freezer 2 second, and then at night you don't run anything except your medical devices. Ration your power, think it out, have a plan, write it down so your family knows what the plan is, what to do. And this, if you're in that county, in other counties, this is the time. Every time power goes off at my place, we do a drill. We go through like it's going down for a long time, and we go into we set up our backup power. I have the children. They're trained. What do you do? I'm not here. What do you do? You need to set the power yourself. How do you do it? What do you do? And they walk through it so they know what they're doing. And my wife knows what she's doing. All that stuff. Everybody knows. Use it as a training event. Get trained up. Practice. So it's not a shock. It's just something you do on a routine, and you know what to do. So until I get more and I can update you in another video, keep your ear on the ground and head on a swivel.